speed. Have you ever played through a game and found yourself unknowingly trying to attempt it faster? You might have spotted a shortcut that skips certain parts. Maybe you weren't satisfied with the rank you got at the end of a level. Maybe you wanted to try again because, hey, it only took a couple of minutes to complete. It's not that much of a time investment to try and shave off a few more seconds next run. Maybe you just like hearing the Speedrunning is daunting. I respect people who do it, but I can't put in the dedication to find the exploits, restart a super long run if things go wrong, rely on RNG, or execute mechanics flawlessly. This guy speedran Clue faster than I can say the word moisturizer. Okay. I want to try my hand at speedrunning too. Only question is, how? Well, some games employ a few techniques to trick the player into subconsciously wanting to speedrun them. Clever level design, replayability, and a fun velocity factor all contribute to making you feel like you're good at speedrunning. You don't have to be perfect, but it helps that you feel perfect, so you can go again and again and again. And hey, you spent as much time as an actual speedrunner did when you were trying to get rank 101 in Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze. I spent 8 hours doing this. I'm gonna go through some games that unknowingly reeled me into committing to speedrunning a few levels, along with the tricks used against me, starting with... It always helps a speedrunner feel like they're good at the game when they're going particularly fast. Good movement comes with this feeling of satisfaction. Think about Ultra Kill, Doom Eternal, Mario Kart. When you're speedrunning a game, you don't want to be stuck in a walking simulator. You don't want to go through unskippable cutscenes. You just want to go fast. I am speed. Take a look at Sonic Generations. There are tons of segments in the game. Green Hill Zone, Crisis City, City Escape, where Sonic is gunning through the levels, giving the player this feeling of power, as if he's unstoppable. And if you happen to slip up or run into a grinding halt, well, you can't just sit there and work with that. No, you gotta go again. It's like you're beating your meat to booty. She's kinda bad though. And then, oh my gosh, man. Momentum plays a key factor here, and as the video game tricks you into trying again, you're now going to look for ways to preserve that momentum. A great level will ensure that you can do just that, from start to finish. Take a look at Neon White or GhostRunner, both incredible games with levels that just keep you on the move and provide you with the tools you need to keep the momentum going. God damn! At times you start to feel like you're in the zone, and that is satisfying, yes, but also incredibly addictive, which is why you just want to keep replaying the level again. Just watch this. So clean with it. I think a good soundtrack definitely reinforces that unstoppable feeling of super speed. Let's take a look at the music from GhostRunner. Are you fucking kidding me with these synths? This bass drop, John Wick, Sifu style fistfight at the club kind of soundtrack. It's the kind of music that puts you into a trance, hypnotizes you into going again and again and again. If I'm going to speedrun this level, I might as well feel like a badass doing it. Sonic Generations Rooftop Run. This song is the single greatest thing to come out of Sonic Unleashed, and I guarantee you, if you speedrun any one level from Generations, it is this. Come on, who are you fucking kidding? Of course it's this. The violins going crazy in the background, the set pieces where Sonic's weaving left and right, dodging spike barrels up the incline, zoom in between the swinging axe pendulum, Sonic tearing the sound barrier on his way up the clock tower only to complete a ridiculously smooth rail grind down. Holy shit! This is a good ass game! While we're on the topic of super speed accompanied by a great soundtrack making it easier to retry a level, this next trick ties directly into the entire idea of retrying levels. Imagine you're in the middle of a Dark Souls speedrun and you die at fucking Ornstein and Smoke. Or maybe a God of War 2018 speedrun and you have to watch Atreus behave like a punk-ass little fucking stupid bitch during this cutscene. Yeah, I'm not doing that. I love games that help you speedrun them by implementing a solid framework of replayability. Maybe it's short levels that'll take about a couple minutes to complete. Maybe it's a fair ranking system that'll make you want to improve your best time. It's important to make the player feel like they're getting better with practice, not punishing them for investing hours of their time only to start over.
Unbelievable! Unbelievable!
But rather reward that patience with a pat on the dick. Neon White is my personal favorite when it comes to replayability. The levels are so goddamn short, and you only really have to achieve gold or blue medals to progress. But what you might not know is that there are hidden medals if you decide to do even better.
I just keep getting better and better.
Ruby medals became my latest addiction. I spent an insane amount of time just trying to get personal best in one of these random levels when the red shit popped up. What is this? You never told me I could get these. Now, I gotta get all of them, and when you finally get all of them and compare them to the people on the internet because you want to see how much better they did because you're probably not that far off now, what is that? Now I gotta get that. The final trick any good game will implement to try and get you to speedrun it is my favorite. Earlier, I mentioned not having the dedication to find exploits or glitches to help me speedrun a particular game. I don't really want to go out of my way to break it to feel like I'm fast. I want the game to kind of help me out here. So I love when skips and shortcuts are purposely built into the game to help me go even faster. It ties directly into both speed and replayability. If the levels can be done quicker through a method I haven't previously explored, I want to go through it again to find it. Neon White and GhostRunner are literally chock full of deliberate skips, but I want to dial it back to Sonic Generations again. But actually, Shadow Generations. Sunset Heights is my favorite level level in this game. The other levels had a ton of fun skips too, but I fucking loved the song in this one, so I'm just gonna talk about this one. There's this one section of the level where Shadow ends up on a collapsed expressway with a giant egg-death robots throwing rocks at him. And playing through this level normally is unassuming. You run under or through the rubble pretty standard-like and continue the rest of the broken expressway portion, leaping over gaps in the floor and dodging more rubble. But there's a piece of hanging road right above here, and I was like, how do I reach that? Until you realize you gotta use the rubble as homing attack platforms. Are you fucking kidding me with this, Shadow? I love chaos control. It's not as subtle as Sonic's bits where you stray from a path to find a skip or shortcut. It's a lot more purpose-built. Not only to freeze enemies or stop the timer to help you speedrun better, although that is really cool, Sega, maybe you should ditch the Sonic games and keep making more Shadow the Hedgehog games, but it also forces you to start thinking outside the box a little more, creating skips and shortcuts for Shadow by stopping projectiles from moving, turning them into hidden platforms. Oh yeah, chaos control. I've previously mentioned Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze, one of my favorite 2D platformers ever, but one of the biggest reasons is actually the time attack mode, Windmill Hills. Donkey Kong, I was not at all familiar with your game, and for that, you can beat me with Cranky Kong's stick. At first glance, this is a pretty normal but gorgeous platforming level. The music is incredible. Donkey Kong jumps through a series of windmills, up the inner workings of a structure, heads down a chairlift type contraption, and continues navigating through windmill portions until this mini cutscene bit where he's knocked around by the fans until reaching the end. On its own, beautiful level. But then they hit you with this time attack, motherfucker. Time attack? Donkey Kong, stop playing around. You're supposed to help Cranky get his bananas back. And it's here that you realize that all the randomly placed birds and rats, windmill rotations and seesaws are very deliberate. Tropical Freeze wants to give you the tools to speedrun it, and boy is it amazing. Frustrating as fuck. This is definitely one of the harder games I tried speedrunning, especially because I had to keep listening to Donkey Kong go whenever I failed. But when you really dig deep and take the time to learn how Donkey Kong implements momentum and intertwines it with the level design, absolutely nails it, that's when you say, fuck you, Cranky. I don't want to get you your stinking bananas. Running.